East Tennessee offers a hero's welcome for the country's most exclusive group of warriors.
Close to 50 Medal of Honor recipients among the relative handful across military history to wear America's highest award for valor in combat gather for their annual convention.
You know, if you really dedicate yourself to a team and a cause that's greater than you, you really actually get more out of it than you give.
This year, Knoxville plays host to those veterans from World War II to the War on Terror. They represent different generations and branches of service, but all share a story of risking their own life to save fellow troops in battle. Good evening. We are live here at the East Tennessee Veterans Memorial in downtown Knoxville. Welcome to our special coverage of the Medal of Honor Convention. I'm John Becker.
And I am Robin Wilhoit. Knoxville has had the great honor and privilege to host nearly 50 Medal of Honor recipients for the annual Medal of Honor Convention, the most Medal of Honor recipients to attend a convention in almost 20 years.
And the age range is astounding. We're talking about some recipients are 93, others around that age as well. The youngest just 24. The average age of these recipients 70, and they represent lots of conflicts.
You better believe it. We're talking from World War II to present day, the wars in Afghanistan and Iraq. Certainly a big day for the Medal of Honor recipients today. They had a chance to meet school children and the people of East Tennessee.
We'll have much more on that in just a second. First, we're going to turn to 10 News reporter Jim Matheny, who has more on the book signing. And this was a chance for the public to shake hands and say thank you.
Yeah, that's right, Robin and John. And you know from meeting these recipients, they are very humble. They do not want to brag or be treated at all like celebrities, but they say that signing autographs is a small way that they can make a permanent mark on the people they meet.
Oh, how are you? How are you doing?
Great.
Service with a smile was the order of the day.
Hey, ma'am, how are you?
During a 2-hour autograph session.
Here you go. Here, take one of these, too.
For dozens of Medal of Honor recipients who left a permanent mark with the people of East Tennessee.
Holy mackerel.
Thank you very
much. Thanks for coming.
The signature moment in Jack Jacobs' life came in 1968 in Vietnam. Heavily wounded by machine gun fire and mortars, Jacobs repeatedly braved an onslaught of enemy fire to save the lives of 14 wounded troops.
We think very clearly that we represent all the men and women who serve valiantly and were never recognized. And so we wear the medals not for ourselves, but for everybody who can't.
The old cliche says war changes a man.
How you doing?
Sir, great.
But receiving the military's highest distinction created a change in Jacobs' handwriting.
One of these days I'll learn to spell my name properly, but this is the only way you can do it and sign thousands of them. And it's turned out after, what, 47 years of this is what my signature looks like. It didn't look like that before.
And while this event has an air of true celebrity treatment,
yeah, how you doing?
It's done with respect to recognize military heroes who never thought about signing autographs when they were surrounded by death in the throes of war.
I think if you ask any of the recipients, they'll tell you he didn't think he was going to make it out of the country alive. Waking up every day is a great blessing, of course, and a great surprise.
And no matter how many times they sign,
there you go.
Autographs remain a flattering sensation they never get used to.
It is a very strange feeling, even now, because you think about the fact that you're just an infantry soldier doing your job, doing what you were trained to do and what you thought was expected of you, and that you didn't do anything special, that there were lots of other brave people who ought to be signing autographs.
But Jacobs and others put aside their modesty and proudly put pen to paper.
You're very welcome. No, it's just illegible, that's all.
As an action in their current lives, mightier than the swords of battle, to ensure those they served with permanently share in their honor.
There you go. Take that. It puts the request for you to sign something in the proper perspective, to represent them and sign whatever we need to sign, be wherever we need to be, so that we keep alive the notions of service and sacrifice.
And these Medal of Honor recipients, they say none of this is ever a burden. It is just another part of their calling to serve. And Robin and John, specifically, they are very committed to instilling a sense of service, not just military service, but service in general in the lives of children.
Oh, and the lessons they teach. All right. Jim, thank you.
And that commitment on full display earlier today in a signature of this Medal of Honor convention.
3 Black Hawk helicopters and 1 Huey from the Knox County Sheriff's Office landed on the south lawn of World's Fair Park around 9:15 this morning. They picked up several Medal of Honor recipients and flew them to area schools as part of the convention's character development program.
13 East Tennessee schools rolled out the red carpet and a hero's welcome. Each one took part in that program, and it explores values like courage, integrity, sacrifice, and being an informed citizen.
And the goal is to help students realize that anyone can do the right thing and be a hero in their own communities. Today, the students had the chance to meet some of the recipients and talk about them and their military service.
No one, okay, no soldier wants to be in combat like that. You know, who wants to, as your occupation, violate one of the most important commandments in our Bible? Who wants to do that? It's simply there, and it's what you have to do. And you have to put the emotion piece aside. You have to let the fear go away.
It was a really awesome experience. I mean, again, I can't put in words at all.
Tennessee is the first state to adopt the character development program statewide. The host committee trained hundreds of educators from dozens of school districts to put those lessons into the classroom.
Members of the public also had the chance to hear from some of the Medal of Honor recipients in person this morning. The University of Tennessee and Y-12 National Security Complex both hosted town hall forums with a few of the recipients. People in the audience had the chance to listen to their stories in person and ask questions. And
sharing their stories of war and valor, and as we mentioned, instilling that commitment in younger people is truly the mission of these recipients, Robin.
That's right. It certainly is. Major General James Livingston has told his story countless times, and just recently he shared his story with me. He says he's worn the medal for decades, but he's never let the medal define his life.
James Livingston's story of extraordinary courage in combat deserves to be documented. This noble warrior and Medal of Honor recipient recounts a life devoted to his country. He says it was his mother and father who planted the seed of discipline while growing up on a South Georgia farm.
And she was a pretty strict disciplinarian, so I was taught the work ethic and the study ethic and expectations of success, because my mom had went to the 4th grade and my dad had went to the 7th grade. They never, either one of them ever finished high school.
Livingston went to Auburn University to pursue a degree in engineering, never once thinking of joining the military until.
In '61, I got a real awakening. I got my draft notice.
He launched into what would become his career, the Marine Corps.
I've commanded everything from a platoon to a company to a barracks to seagoing to battalions to regiments to divisions to forces.
But it was his act of bravery on a battlefield in Vietnam that garnered him the highest medal awarded for valor in combat. May 1st, 1968. Then Captain Livingston was commander of Echo Company. Word came that another company, Gulf Company, was in trouble as it assaulted the town of Dai Do. North Vietnamese troops, hundreds of them, were dug in.
The lieutenant commander called me up about 3 o'clock and said, I want you to go in and join forces with Gulf Company. At 5 o'clock, I told the guys to fix bayonets. And because I was, I sort of use a football analogy. When we were earlier in Vietnam, I used to talk about we're in the high school training phase now, we're in college now, but I said, guys, this is the NFL. I mean, this operation is the NFL. Echo Company's been preparing for this, and you guys can do it. And those 19 and 20-year-old Marines looked at me and said, Skipper, we got it.
Livingston led the charge a third of a mile through a rice paddy, taking heavy enemy fire from 50 caliber machine guns and rocket-propelled grenades.
So they were killing all the Marines by shooting them in the head.
Wounded by RPG blasts, Livingston and a handful of Marines pushed through enemy lines. In the end, as many as 500 North Vietnamese were dead.
After we got the link up complete, we counted heads, and with all the dead and wounded, and we started off with about 180. We only had about 40 Marines still walking.
Livingston's story was far from over. Shortly after, another call for help. Nearby hotel company was under attack. Livingston and his remaining Marines charged into battle once again.
We were going across from sort of hedgerow to hedgerow, which was the toughest fighting you could do because of that terrain. We came across this berm, and there was a North Vietnamese there with a 50 caliber machine gun. It was a triple. It had been used to shoot at airplanes, and he turned the son of a gun on me and shot me through the leg, and I went down.
Livingston ordered his troops to withdraw as he laid there, prepared to defend them to his death.
Both of them wanted to grab me and said, "Skipper, we're not going to leave you," and drug me back.
Almost 2 years to the day, James Livingston was recognized for that courage under fire. President Richard Nixon presented him the Medal of Honor.
I look at that award and I look at the young 18 and 19, 20-year-olds that didn't make it back, and the fact that they never had a chance to be fathers and grandfathers and live a life that they should have lived.
Livingston went on to become a father, a grandfather, and a major general in the Marines, wrapping up a 34-year career of noble service.
And his story just jaw-dropping, like all of their stories. But his story doesn't end there. He's been back to Vietnam, right?
Yeah, he's been back 3 times, and he told me every time he's gone back, his escort has actually been a Viet Cong village chief for that town of Dai Do. This chief was actually the soldier who led the North Vietnamese into that town, and he showed the general where he was shot, and it ended up being about 200 yards from where the general was shot in that battle.
We're going to hear more of those stories. We're also going to let you know about the wrap-up of this convention, which is tomorrow night, the Patriot Awards Gala, a few steps away at the Convention Center here. That's a black tie event. It is sold out. During the event, the Congressional Medal of Honor Society will present its 2014 awards. U.S.
Supreme Court Associate Justice and Army veteran Samuel Alito will receive the Patriot Award. CBS Sports and Golf Channel writer and broadcaster David Faraday will receive the Distinguished Citizen Award. The society will also present CNN News anchor and chief Washington correspondent Jake Tapper with the Tex McCrary Award for Excellence in Journalism. And last but certainly not least, actor and producer Mark Wahlberg will receive this year's Bob Hope Award for Excellence in Entertainment.
And you can find a complete list of Medal of Honor convention events as well as our coverage online at WBIR.com. We have a special page dedicated to the events along with the backstories of Medal of Honor recipients, including 14 from East Tennessee. All of that coverage at WBIR.com/Medal of Honor.